So I'm back, everyone. Welcome back. So by the way, guys, tomorrow is my my schedule to reporting. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. If you want more, just guys, kanang i-wait lang nyo sa mga new vlog, new upcoming videos. So I'm very busy, guys, because I'm doing a lot of mga kuan gani, mga gamit gani sa mga kuan. So magbabasa ako, guys. Literary arts. Literary arts. So before we're going to talk about literary, let's define first what is genre. So genre began as an absolute classification system for ancient Greek literature, poetry, prose, and performance. Each had a specific and calculated style that related to the theme of the story. So genre is talking about the classification system daw about sa ancient Greek before, like asa man na makita ang Greek dito na ang ancient Greek dito na siya silang bansa. So nag-start na siya dito in a literature, and ang katong literature, ang genre nila is nag-start sa poetry, prose, and performance. And kato siya tanan is naa siya specific lahi and calculated style that related to the theme of the story. So lahi-lahi daw katong mga kuan daw sa genre na atay literature, poetry, prose, and performance, and each had specific. So lahi-lahi, dili siya pareho. So ang kana siya lahi-lahi siya, and then nagkuan siya sa kanang bagay gani sa iyang kuan sa story mo to siya ang pasabot sa mga sa genre. So let's move to literature. What is literature? Literature is written or oral work that uses language creatively to express ideas, emotions, and stories. So ang literature is talking about the ganing kanang gisulat nimo siya, and kanang trabaho yun nimo siya ba nga kanang maski unsa language nya kanang nindot nga kanang idea gani nga ma-express nimo imong idea unsa mo na feel mo create kag stories ba mo na siya ang sabot. So it encompasses various forms including novels, poems, plays, and essays. So ang novel, so nagakuan po daw, pwede po daw ta mo include sa novels, poems, plays, and essays. Di ba we create essays with if unsa tong na feel or gustong opinion, so that mo na ang book. So, and it's often distinguished by its artistic quality. Kana siya dili lang kay himuo na siya sa kuan kanang sulaton lang, kundi iartihan pod nimo siya kanang with ninduton nimo siya ba pagsulat with high quality, dili lang kay sa idea, emotions, kundi sa pagsulat ko nimo sa imong written, like creative writing, deep and exploration of the human experience. So kung unsa imong experience and then mo na imong isulat, anything can be literature. So ang anything daw, ang tanan pwede daw siya masulat or ma-express nimo. What is literature? Ang literature is pwede nimo siyang i-express imong ideas, emotions, and kung unsa imong stories, and pwede nimo siya buhatan og novels, poems, plays, and essays, and is often distinguished by its artistic quality. Dapat na siya quality mo ang kuan, and anything can be literature, and anything which is universally regarded as literature has the potential to exclude, since value judgment can change over time. So tanan daw pwede daw siya mahimong literature, pwede daw nimo isulat, i-express imong emotion, and ang tanan daw nimong pwede isulat is universally regarded. Pwede jud kaayo nimo isulat tanan nimong na feel, tanan nimong mga unsay mga stories nimo, and that is value judgments can change over time. So ang value, maskin pag i-judge ang imong gihimo, but that is valuable, like dako kay siya og meaning sa imuha, even na dili niya masabtan imong gi-express or imong literature, diba? So ang value kay ma-change ra na siya sa time. So let's talk about the 3 genres of literature. So poetry, so what is the 3 genres of literature? We have poetry, number 1, number 2 is prose, and number 3 is drama. So what is poetry? Buwan ako na sa poetry is written in lines. So kung masulat ka poetry, dapat sa linya nimo siya. Lines are grouped together to make stanzas. Make have rhyming words can have a rhythm. So muna ka nang kuan daw nimo, itugma nimo ba yung mga kuan nimo, mga words nimo nga gipanulat, and then linya nimo siya by group. Mo na siya yung meaning sa poetry. So poetry sa ta mag-talk ta about poetry. So what the kinds of poetry: descriptive and didactic, narrative, lyric. So muna ang nasa poetry. Descriptive and didactic poetry is both lyric and narrative. Poetry can contain lengthy and detailed descriptions. Descriptive poetry, or since indirect speech, dramatic poetry. The purpose of a didactic poem is primarily to teach something. So both lyric daw dapat daw kanang kining kuan siya nga pagkahimo ba, kanang naa jud siya dili na ko maglisod kuan guys. Explain. Pa-shout out kay Melmar Palsiv kasal niya ngayon. Thanks. Shout out kay Melmar Palsiv. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want more like this, hit subscribe and don't forget to click the notification bell button, so if I have more video, the notification will sa imuha. Ubag tingnan na daghan kay mo gawas sa mga video or something, diba? So if you are curious about excuse. So nagpa-practice ako, guys. And the purpose of didactic poem is primarily to teach something. So ang purpose to sa didactic poem is kuan daw kanang tudluan gani kang kuan na siya itudlo sa imo, like mga storya siya, mga kuan siya, mura siya pang encouragement siguro or sa. So let's talk about the example about descriptive poetry. Sige. Smoke. Light wind smoke. Icarian bird melting thy pinions in thy upward flight. Lark without song and messenger of dawn, circling above the hamlets as thy nest, or else departing dream and shadowy form of midnight vision, gathering at thy skirts by night star veiling, and by day darkening the light and blotting the sun. Go thou my incense upward from this earth, and ask God the gods to pardon his clear flame. So that is the example of descriptive poetry. So laglum kaayo iyang mga words, like naa siya mga new word, like new English, diba? So that is descriptive poetry. So that's the example. So let's move to the didactic poetry. So tanawin ninyo sa differences sa descriptive poetry o sa didactic poetry. It is hard to say if greater want of skill appear in rating and judging but of the two less dangerous, diba? That is the new word. Dangerous is the offense to tire our patience, then mislead our sins, some few, and that but the numbers are in this, then censor wrong for one who write amiss. A fool might once himself alone expose, now one of verse makes many more in prose. An excerpt from an essay on criticism by Alexander Pope. That is the didactic poetry. So, dira nimo siya ma-compare, no? Ang descriptive poetry, didactic poetry. So, mao na siya ang poetry, mao na siyang examples. Diba? Sa mga kinder pa ta high school, diba? Kuan man ito ang mga atong mga kuan, mga poetry na to is mga simple word lang, pero dili ana kahit naman kuan naman ta na naman ta sa pinakatunga, diba? Sa pinakatunga nga level. That's why we need to learn more about English, about word. That's why mo ni siya ang examples, and kamo na distinguish, or dapat mind ninyo kung saan ninyo pagkuan, kung saan differences between descriptive poetry to didactic poetry. So, let's talk about sige, let's move on na. Diri na to sa narrative poetry. What is narrative poetry? A form of a poetry that tells a story, often making use of the voices of narrator and the characters as well. The entire story is usually written in metered verse. It has three kinds. Number one, so a poetry daw is tells about the story. So, ang poetry is a story gani. Ano ka nang nagbuhat og sounds, mura kag nag-acting ba, and then usually written ug imong gisulat na siya sa method. Mas like imo siyang gina isa-isa ug like gina grupo-grupo nimo siya ba. So it has three kinds. Number one is epics, a long narrative poem written in elevated style, in which heroes of great historical or legendary importance perform valorous deeds. Beowulf. So that is the example. Ang narrative poetry has three kinds. So we have epics, mock epic, ballad. So idea, express your emotion, and then we talk about let's continue our topic because na-distract ta guys. So let's continue our topic. So I'm going to explain guys what is narrative poetry. So it has three kinds. we have epics, mock epic, and ballad. So ang epics is a long narrative poem written in the elevated style in which heroes of great historical or legendary importance perform valorous deeds. That is epics. So I don't know. I need to study more about this narrative poem. So mock epic are typically satires or parodies. Mga parody daw, mga comedian ba? Mga parody that mock common classical stereotypes of heroes and heroic literature by Alexander Pope's The Rope of the Luck. That is the example. So if you have a load or Wi-Fi, you can search this one, The Rope of the Luck. That is the example of mock epic. So I don't have time to explain the mock epic. So let's move on to the next, ballad. So a poem of song narrating a story in short stanzas. So ang ballad is a poem of song daw. That is kanta daw na siya nga kanang short stanza lang. Traditional ballad are typically of unknown authorship, having been passed on orally from one generation to the next as part of the folk culture. So that is, ang ballad is na siya part of folk culture. So if you want to study this, just research sa Google or anything na magamit ninyo kung saan ninyo pag-search about, na curious mo about what is ballad. So this is the title, The Second Coming, William Butler, Yeats, 1865 to 1939. Muna siya nagsugod ang ballad. So all the things na ay nagsugod kung asa tanan butang guys, naa na siya tanan butang class, naa na siya nagsugod ba kanang kung unsa siya nagsugod para nang gimong bangko, kisa may naghimo sa bangko na ba ng mga storya, mga narrative poetry na mga kon ba kanang kisi nakauna na kisi nagbuhat mo siyang gitaw niya. That's why we have here mga ganing mga kanang mga explanation or mga information about before, and then we need to know more about the world. That's why we are here at the school or in the school. So let's move on about, diba, poetry man atong ikuan. So diri na pud sa lyric poetry. So is a comparatively short non-narrative poem on which single speaker presents a state of mind or an emotion state. So ang lyric poetry daw is comparatively short of non-narrative poem is single speaker. So unsa man na ang comparatively? Sure. Diba mo rin tag teacher? It has 4 kinds. Na adon siya upat ka kanang kaklase. So elegy, a poem of a serious reflection, typically a lament of for dead. So mao ni ang gitopic or mao ni ang gidiscuss sa atong sir, di ba? So ang elegy is kung makadungog mo og elegy like about ni siya sa mga matay ana, mo ni siya cure or kanang mystery like hadlok siya ba if makali tungod mo ni siya ang nabutang ni siya sa lyric poetry. So ang OD, a poem in which a person expresses a strong feeling of love or respect for some. So kung makadungog mo about ani kanang gilove sa mga sa mga lyric, that is OD ang tawag ana. Pero ang kaning nangamatay is elegy for someone or something. So sonnet, what is sonnet? A 14-line poem written in alembic pentameter which employ one of several rhyme schemes and adhere to a tightly structured thematic organization. So that is the kuan daw guys. Ang sonnet daw is a 14 line. So 14 line yun na siya, dili siya pwede malapas. So mo na siyang gitawag og sonnet. 14 line lang yun na siya. That's the kind of lyric poetry. So ang lastly, dramatic monologue. Dili siya monology. Dili na why. Monologue na siya. So a poem in the form of a speech or narrative by an imagined person in which the speaker inadvertently reveals aspects of their character while describing a particular situation or series of events. So ang kaning dramatic monologue is talking about speech narrative like imagined person, like imo siyang imagine ka ba nga kanang nga tao gi-describe nimo siya kanang mura kag nag-speech gani sa tubangan si gikuan nimo siya ba man siya ang dramatic monologue mo na tawag kanang nag-speech sa tubangan kanang magkuan siya ba kanang ipakilala niya kasi mag-introduce siya tao. That is ikaw ang speaker gani kanang kuan ka ila ka sa tubangan. That is dramatic monologue. So let's move on na. So examples of lyric poetry. So di ba nag-talk about ganina is kanang kuan nagstorya about elegy, OD, sonnet, and dramatic. So this is the examples of elegy, OD, sonnet, and melodic drama. So, ang tawag di ay ato ng dramatic monologue is melodic drama. Ang iyang kuan guys, basta iyang kanang kuan. So ang poetry is have an expression to read. Oh, captain, my captain does not answer. Sleep that ing ana siya pagbasa guys, dili siya kuan mo na siya ang gitawag og lyric poetry. So diri as sa OD dili na nato siya manang kitaas na kaayo. So OD and intimations of immorality from recollections of early childhood by William Wordsworth. There was a time when di ba ang kato siya nga lyric poetry is OD na to siya. So ang elegy is kanang with emotion na siya. About na siya sa mga namatay or something basta express nimong emotion. Pero ang kaning OD is just relaxing, like telling story to the people So dirita, let's talk about sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to summer's day? Thou art of siba. So mas lisod ni sonnet 18 that this is lisod yun ni siya. Pero pag mo siyang na-curious ka nilo, you can search sa kuan ha, and then you need to learn more about this. Raw winds, the shake, darlings, melodic drama. And then there will be time to wonder, do I dare, o diba? So melodic daw, and ended, there will be time to wonder, do I dare? And do I dare? Time to return back and descends to stare. With bow spot in the middle of my hair. They will say how his hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to my necktie. So, kuan na pod ha. Let's move on na pod. Let's talk about kinds of prose. Wala lagi diri ang prose. Ito lagi. Wait lang guys kasi nawala lagi. Hindi ba siya pwede mabutang lagi. Wait lang everyone ha, kay kung ano sa natot ng topic kinawala man. I need to check this. So wait lang guys. So I need to end the live and later na ta mag-talk.